Hey guys, I've decided to recreate a look from Natasha Bedingfield's album cover called Strip Me. It is a beautiful look and I love it. I think it's amazing. And if I'm not mistaken, NIKKIETUTORIALS also done a look. I'll put all of her info in the lower bar, so make sure to check her out. Just a small shout out, Nikki, I love you, I missed you. It's been a while since we've talked. But hopefully you're still gonna come to Canada so we can make tutorials here together. And I just can't wait to like welcome you with arms wide open. With arms wide open. Anyways, you better say yes. Okay, so back to the intro, the regular intro. So yeah, I love this look, and if you want to learn how to complete it, or recreate it, or redo it, they're all synonyms. Anyways, keep on watching. It's been so long. I'm so happy to be back. Yeah, it's been a long time. I've been like putting out videos from my trip, which I still need to... I think I have only one video left, but I've been really busy, so excuse me. Okay, now let's start. So I'm going to use the Blacktrack Fluidline from M.A.C just as a base, and I'm just using a synthetic flat brush. This is a Sigma 195. And I just want to use it on my lid. Like I said, just as a base for now. And then just before it dries, I'm just going to diffuse the edges a little bit. Now I'm just going to take a matte black and use a 239 brush, just a tiny bit. And I'm just applying it right on the lid. Like I said, just a tiny bit, like that. This look is not about like a dark lid necessarily. After, I'm just using a fluffy brush and I'm just once again working on the edges a little bit. Next, I'm going to use kind of a shimmery silverish gray called Scene from M.A.C, and this is the color we're mostly going to use today. So I'm just using a 252 brush, and I'm just packing that color right onto the lid, right on top of the black. Now, taking a fluffy brush once again, excuse this, I'm just going to fade out the edges. Then I'm taking another fluffy brush, I'm taking the same gray color, and I'm just applying that right into the crease and slowly fading that color upwards, just a little bit. And then with the other fader brush, the cleaner one, I'm just focusing on making sure there's no kind of harsh lines. Okay, so this, comparing to the album cover, is still a little bit darker. So I'm going to go in with a silver color called Electra. I'm taking my flat brush, my stiff flat brush. Once again, I'm just layering the colors. So I'm going right on top of what I previously applied. So with the shader brush, I'm just going over the entire lid. Once again, we don't want any harsh lines. This is not like make a harsh line segment here. Now, for the lower lash line, we're going to go back in with the dark gray color, which was Scene. I'm taking just a smudger brush. This is the short shader, E20 from Sigma. I'm going right onto the lower lash line. And you want to go all the way in. After, I'm going to tight line my eyes, I'm still using the Blacktrack Fluidline, and I'm just using, where is it? Found it! A 210 from M.A.C. Sorry, I'm a little bit excited. You can use pretty much any kind of brush for this, and I'm just applying that right onto the waterline. Now we're going to smoke the lower lash line even more, so I'm taking my 266 from M.A.C. I'm going back into my matte black, and I'm going as close to the lashes as possible. And after, you're going to be using your smudger brush. So I just applied black onto my smudger brush. I'm just applying some more. You really want to make sure that the lower lash line is like excessively black. Then with the clean pencil brush, just going to diffuse the edges again. Now, still using the angled brush and the matte black, I'm just going to line my upper lash line. Just a little bit. We'll be applying lashes as usual, so we want to somewhat hide the band. Now I know that you've missed a product that I was always using, so I'm going to use my Lise Watier Folie Blanche. And once again, I'm just going to apply that right in the middle of the lid. Then I'm just turning the brush over. It's going to add dimension to the eyes. And what's left, I'm just applying into the inner corner of my eyes, just to kind of open up the whole thing. Then as a highlight, I'm just using a very light nude color called Schroom. It has a little bit of shimmer to it, but I'm just using that right underneath the brow. So the lashes, you could also skip this step, but as you know me, I always need to have lashes, so I'm going to use some natural lashes from a red cherry called, well, they're not called anything, it's a number 43. So they're pretty simple. You could probably wear these every day. Now I started contouring with a blush angle brush, and I'm just using the very known Sincere from M.A.C, which is a blush. Next, on the cheeks, she has a very light pink cheek, so I'm going to use a blush from M.A.C called The Perfect Cheek, which is very nice, like on its own for an everyday use. Just using a regular blush brush around the apples. The next thing is we're going to do like those tribal motif on the face. So I'm going to start with the gold, and I'm going to use Folie from Lise Watier, which is beautiful. And what I'm going to do is simply mix water with it. Of course, if you want a very long lasting, use like a mixing medium or something of that sort. So I'm just wetting my brush a little bit, taking out the excess, and I'm just picking up the pigment. So you don't need to be like extremely precise. I'm going in the middle of the forehead, pressing down. I'm using a synthetic brush. I'm just following the bridge of my nose. Now the next step is doing those white tribal things underneath, well, almost on the cheekbone, I would say. So I'm going to use my Kryolan watercolor in white, which I'm almost out of. Just something like that, you know. No need to be precise. Once again, this is like tribal. They don't like have stencils. Now she also has 2 dots on the bridge of the nose, so I'm just going to use my Kryolan watercolor in white, and I'm just going to dip the end of my brush. Now the last thing for the lips, I'm going to use a little bit of M.A.C Lipglass in Glamour for All, just a tiny bit to kind of give a color on the lips. And then just on top, I'm going to use the Lauren Luke's lip gloss in clear. It has like a tiny bit of, I would say like rose to it, but it's very, very see-through, so don't need to worry about the color. And I love this gloss. Like, to me, it is like the M.A.C lip gloss in clear, but less sticky, but with the same effect. And the smell of it, it is like amazing. And I'm not kidding, like it's really good. And there we have it, the completed look. Very tribal-like, but then again, the eyes are very, very wearable. So if you remove kind of the paint the war paint, if you remove that, well, it would be very, very wearable. Now, unfortunately, kind of put something out there. It's kind of serious to me. Well, not serious, but it has come to my attention and it's kind of bugging me, and this will probably be the first and last time that you hear me talk about it. Now, it hasn't happened to me personally, but here's the deal. But I've been noticing a lot of people, actually a lot of YouTubers that are taking the time to trash others. Now, I understand that we don't like what everybody's doing on YouTube. I think the beauty community on YouTube is wonderful, but it has come to my attention that some people like to bash others. Now, I understand there's a difference between like bashing and bullying and being just like, okay, no, I'm not feeling that. I'm totally fine with someone not liking something from another people. You can voice it if it's on your Twitter, if it's on your YouTube, but there's a difference. Don't waste your time and don't take all of your time to bash that person. When you repeat the exact same thing, when you're being mean, when you try to make some sort of movement around something that a person does, that's being a bully. You shouldn't have to worry if they decide to put on a wig on top of a wig. If you don't like it, don't like it, but don't trash it and don't try to make a movement around it. Like, if I decide to grow a beard and apply makeup on top, that's my deal, you know? So just try to be thoughtful. Now, we're not perfect. We all judge, but I'm just saying there's a slight difference between judgment and being a bully. So, with that being said, just keep in mind we're all humans, we're all exactly the same, we're born the same way, Lady Gaga quote, and everybody should be respected for at least taking the time to do videos, you know? I think you got the message. Now, I love you all, and I will see you next week, and yes, you'll never hear me talk about one of those things ever again, but I just wanted to state my opinion on that, and hopefully I haven't hurt anybody's feelings. So, yes, I love you all. I'll see you next week with another look. And maybe a spoiler, I want to do maybe a Grey's Anatomy look from Dr. Torres. I'll definitely do a look from Katy Perry's E.T. video, which I love, like, hello. And I've been amazed. And, what else? The Carrie Hilson video? Not video, cover. Anyways, I'll stop naming all my, putting my secrets all out there. But I'll be back next week, or maybe even before, you never know. But until then, keep it locked on my channel, okay? That's not ladylike.